Most people assume that if global tensions keep rising, there's nowhere truly safe to go. But that's not actually true. In fact, there's a handful of countries that have spent decades staying out of major conflicts, building stable economies, protecting personal freedoms, and creating a quality of life that attracts people from all over the world. So if you've ever wondered where you could live more peacefully if the world becomes increasingly unpredictable, stick around, because the country that takes the #1 spot surprises almost everyone. And hey, if you're new here, I'm Mark, and I help people buy and sell property in the U.S. and around the world. And I've personally helped over 500 families successfully relocate and buy homes with confidence. And if you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the world, feel free to reach out using the contact information below. So today, we're counting down 5 countries that stand out as some of the safest places to escape global conflict in 2026 and why they continue attracting people looking for security, stability, and a better quality of life. So let's start with number 5, and that's Chile. Now, Chile rarely gets the attention it deserves, but when you start looking at the fundamentals, it's easy to see why so many expats quietly fall in love with it. Stretching along the western edge of South America, Chile has developed a reputation for stability, strong institutions, and a relatively predictable economy compared to much of the region. And one of the biggest advantages is its geography. When major conflicts dominate world headlines, Chile sits about as far away from many of those hotspots as you can get. It's separated by oceans, continents, and thousands upon thousands of miles. But distance alone doesn't make a country attractive. What really matters is how life functions on the ground. And this is where Chile performs exceptionally well. The country has modern infrastructure, reliable healthcare, strong property rights, and a functioning democracy that gives many expats confidence about the future. Now, let's talk about real estate. In Santiago, entry-level condos typically range between $120,000 and $220,000, and family homes in the desirable neighborhoods often fall roughly between $250,000 and $600,000. Now, the higher-end properties in the premium districts can easily push beyond $800,000. If you move outside the capital, well, you'll often find detached homes in the $150,000 to $350,000 range, giving buyers significantly more space and value. And then there's the lifestyle. You have world-famous wine regions, the dramatic landscapes of Patagonia, and over 4,000 miles of coastline, and a modern capital city that continues attracting professionals from around the world. But what really surprises many newcomers is how developed Chile feels. Public infrastructure is among the best in Latin America. Healthcare is modern and widely respected throughout the region. And then your public transportation in Santiago is clean, efficient, and easy to navigate. And families appreciate the strong education options and the sense of long-term stability that comes with living in a country where institutions generally function well. And then we have the climate. The climate is a major advantage. In the north, you'll find some of the driest deserts on Earth. And in the center, you'll enjoy a Mediterranean climate similar to parts of California. And in the south, you'll discover the lakes, the forests, and the mountain scenery that rival some of the most beautiful places in Europe. And very few countries offer this level of geographic diversity within a single border. And for people looking for stability, affordability, and distance from global conflict, well, Chile checks a lot of boxes. Now, let's move to number 4, and that's Panama. Panama has become one of the most popular relocation destinations in the Western Hemisphere, and it's not difficult to understand why. What makes Panama unique starts with its approach to national security. The country has no standing military. Instead, it has focused on economic development, trade, investment, and maintaining strong international relationships. And for many people concerned about geopolitical instability, that's an appealing foundation. Panama is one of the most internationally connected countries in Latin America, and its role as a major shipping and financial hub creates strong incentives for stability and openness to foreign investment. And then there's the convenience factor. The U.S. dollar is widely used. Modern infrastructure is readily available, and there is already a thriving international community that makes settling in easier for newcomers. And when it comes to buying property, Panama offers options for almost every budget. Modern condos in Panama City often range from approximately $150,000 to $350,000, and then your family homes commonly fall between $250,000 and $700,000, depending on the neighborhood. Now, outside the capital, many comfortable homes can still be found in the $120,000 to $300,000 range, providing exceptional value compared to many North American and European markets. But here's what really attracts many expats. You can enjoy city amenities, international airports, modern healthcare, and then be relaxing near the beach just a short drive away. And that combination of convenience and lifestyle is difficult to beat. And another reason Panama continues attracting expats is simplicity. The use of the U.S. dollar removes many of the currency concerns that people experience when moving abroad. And the country has spent decades welcoming international residents, which means newcomers can often find established communities and support networks relatively quickly. Healthcare facilities in Panama City are modern and continue attracting patients from across the region. International connectivity is another major advantage because you have direct flights connecting Panama to cities throughout North America, South America, Europe, making travel surprisingly convenient. And whether you prefer city living, mountain towns, beach communities, or island life, Panama offers a variety of lifestyles within a relatively small country. And for people seeking stability without giving up convenience, Panama remains one of the strongest options available today. And then coming in at number 3 is Costa Rica. Costa Rica has spent decades building one of the strongest relationships in the world for peace, stability, and quality of life. And much of that reputation stems from a decision the country made generations ago. Costa Rica also abolished its military and invested heavily in education, healthcare, and social development. And that decision helped shape the country into what many people experience today, a peaceful, welcoming, and remarkably stable environment. The phrase Pura Vida isn't simply a tourism slogan. It's a reflection of a culture that prioritizes balance, community, and enjoying life. And that's something many expats noticed almost immediately after arriving. Costa Rica also consistently ranks among the safest countries in Latin America with strong democratic institutions and a government that has enjoyed decades of peaceful transitions of power. Now, housing prices vary significantly depending on the location. In the popular expat destinations, condos frequently range from about $180,000 to $400,000, and single-family homes often fall between, I'd say, $250,000 and $700,000. And if you're looking at the premium coastal communities or luxury properties near the beaches, well, those prices can easily exceed $1 million. Now, this is where Costa Rica becomes especially attractive. You get access to world-class surfing, tropical beaches, rainforests, volcanoes, wildlife, and year-round outdoor living. And for many people, it's not just about finding a safer place to live, but a quieter place as well. It's all about creating an entirely different lifestyle, and that's really the reason that so many people fall in love with Costa Rica. Life here feels intentionally slower. People spend more time outdoors, more time with family, and generally place a higher value on quality of life. The healthcare system continues to receive praise from expats for both quality and affordability. Fresh fruits, vegetables, and locally produced foods are available year-round thanks to the country's climate. And nature isn't something you visit occasionally, it's woven into everyday life. Whether it's spotting wildlife on your morning walk, surfing along the coast, or exploring waterfalls or hiking through the rainforest on the weekend, outdoor living becomes part of the routine. And for many expats, Costa Rica doesn't simply offer a safer place to live, it offers a healthier and more balanced way of living. So let's move on to number 2, Uruguay. If you're looking for one of the most underrated countries on the planet, Uruguay deserves serious attention. Despite being located between Brazil and Argentina, Uruguay has built a reputation for political moderation, economic stability, low corruption, and strong democratic institutions. People often refer to it as the Switzerland of South America. And while no comparison is perfect, you can understand why. Uruguay consistently ranks among the safest countries in the region and spent decades maintaining a stable political environment. And there's very little drama, very little volatility. And for many expats, that's exactly what they're looking for. Life feels calm, predictable, and surprisingly comfortable. Montevideo, the capital city, offers excellent health care, modern infrastructure, walkable neighborhoods, and a relaxed pace of life that for many people they found refreshing after living in larger cities. And when it comes to housing, apartments in Montevideo frequently range from about 150 to 350,000. Detached family homes often fall around 250 to 700,000. And in highly desirable coastal communities, beachfront and luxury properties can range from 800 to over $1 million. And what many people appreciate is balance. You get modern conveniences without congestion, stress, and intensity that often accompany major international cities. Now, Uruguay is often described as one of the easiest countries in Latin America for foreigners to adapt to. The pace of life is relaxed, but the country remains highly functional. Public services are reliable, property rights are well established, and transparency levels are among the highest in the region. Now, Montevideo combines European influences with coastal lifestyle, creating a city that many expats find both familiar and comfortable. And outside the capital, you'll find charming beachfront communities and smaller towns where life moves at a slower pace without sacrificing essential services. And if your goal is peace of mind, predictability, and long-term stability, Uruguay is extremely difficult to overlook. Which brings us to our number one pick, Mauritius. Most people never even think about Mauritius when considering international relocation, and that may be exactly why it deserves more attention. Mauritius, officially the Republic of Mauritius, is an island country in the Indian Ocean located about 1,100 nautical miles off the southeast coast of East Africa and east of Madagascar. And Mauritius enjoys a level of geographic insulation that very few countries can match. No shared land borders, no neighboring disputes, no immediate proximity to many of the geopolitical tensions dominating today's headlines. It is quite literally separated from much of the world's instability by thousands of miles of ocean. But geography is not the only part of the story. Mauritius has consistently ranked among the safest countries in Africa and maintains a stable democratic government, strong international relationships, and a welcoming environment for foreigners. English is widely spoken, making the transition easier for many newcomers. And the infrastructure is modern, healthcare continues to improve, and the country has become increasingly attractive to international investors and retirees. But what about the housing? Well, apartments commonly range from 150 to 300,000, and family homes typically fall between $200,000 and $600,000 to several $1,000,000 depending on location and exclusivity. And then there's the lifestyle. Crystal clear lagoons, white sand beaches, lush green mountains, warm weather throughout the year, and one of the most unique cultural blends anywhere in the world, combining influences from Africa, India, Europe, and Asia. That cultural diversity is one of the things that makes Mauritius so special. And with a relatively small island, you'll find a remarkable mix of traditions, languages, cuisines, and communities living together peacefully. The food scene alone reflects influences from multiple continents. And the island also benefits from a well-developed financial sector, modern infrastructure, and growing international investment. And healthcare continues to improve, and many daily services meet the expectations of people relocating from developed countries. And perhaps most importantly, life here feels remarkably removed from the pressures and tensions affecting most of the world. Many expats describe Mauritius as one of the few places where they feel genuinely disconnected from global chaos while still enjoying the comforts of modern living. That's a rare combination and one of the biggest reasons Mauritius earns the #1 spot on the list. So there you have it. Chile, Panama, Costa Rica, Uruguay, and Mauritius. 5 countries that continue to stand out for their safety, stability, quality of life, and relative distance from many of the geopolitical risks people worry about today. But if you're seriously considering an international move in 2026, these 5 countries absolutely deserve a place on your short list. And if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments which country surprised you the most. And if you're trying to figure out which destination might be best fit for your situation, feel free to reach out by calling the number below. I'd love to help point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.